Welcome to the Gamer Base. This is ConArtist. Today I've got a special treat for you. I'll be showing you Hearthstone, the new collectible card trading game by Blizzard. This thing is going to destroy people's lives. It's extremely addictive, extremely accessible, and it's in closed beta right now, which means it's invites only for people to play, but I managed to get a hold of a key from a friend of mine. This isn't actually my account, so I'll just be showing you through the game, trying to get you excited for it. It's going to be really great. It's free to play also when it comes out. But you can pay real money at the store to get cards, which we'll talk about in a bit. But for now, as you can see, the interface is pretty pretty slim. It was made by a small team at Blizzard, so it's not a huge production, but the polish is all over here. You have the practice mode where you can play against AI and play, which is what we're going to do right now, which means it's going to put me up against a completely random opponent who's in the closed beta. So I'm going to play a real multiplayer match for you right now. These are all my custom decks, or rather the account's custom decks. These aren't all mine, but this one is mine, Warlock Holmes, because I'm clever and funny. This is Warlock Holmes. He's obviously a warlock, and we're going to choose him. And each class has sort of unique cards for that class, which they can use during the match, in addition to the neutral cards which every class has. So your objective is to kind of build a deck which kind of is balanced and has a really good synergy and combos between the cards. And you got to really try to anticipate your opponent's moves. Some heroes just do better than others. They can kind of cancel out their strengths. But generally, it's been a pretty balanced experience so far. Now, this is pretty much the entire game. This is the board. As you can see, this is my hero, this is his hero. And let's get right to it. So I'm going second. So he's going to go first, which means I get an extra card here. Now, these 4 cards are drawn from my deck. These are the first 4 cards, and I can choose which ones I want to keep. And in this case, I'm going to keep all of them. Even though this one is a high mana cost, I'm going to hold on to it because it's a very useful card. Now, what do I mean by high mana cost? Right down here in this blue bar is my mana, which is going to say 1 out of 1. See, his says 1 out of 1 here, mine says 0 out of 0. Every turn you gain 1 mana point. So in turn 2 you have 2 mana, turn 3 you have 3 mana, and so on. Each of these cards has a mana cost, which you can see at the top left there. So I can play this on my first turn, which I'm going to do because it only costs 1 mana. This minion is called a taunt, which means if this or she rather wants to attack me, she's going to have to go through my taunt. She has to do damage to it, get rid of it before she does direct damage to me, because the objective here is to get the heroes down to 0 health, essentially. And you can see her health is 30, mine is 27 because she just attacked me. So this minion has 1 attack and 3 health, which means if it is hit for 3 points of damage, it is off the field, it's destroyed, it's done. Now that seems to contradict what I said about the taunt, but that's a hero ability. Hero abilities can go through anything. Some of them are just direct targeting, and they don't need to worry about taunts. Now I have 2 mana to play, and I'm going to choose to play a pint-sized summoner, which might not be the best move because it can get killed off pretty easily, but it's a very useful card. If you can see here, the first minion you play costs 1 less each turn, which means the next turn comes around, I'm going to be able to play a cheaper minion. So if this costs 6, for example, I can play it for 5. If this costs 1, I can play it for 0. But she just destroyed it, so that's not happening right now. Now she's put up a taunt of her own, which means I have to get rid of this taunt, but I can't right now because I only have 1 damage, and this thing has 2 health, so I won't be able to kill it off in this turn, and in addition I'll be taking 1 damage. So I'm going to try to find another way to take care of it. Let's go with... This is overkill, 4 damage. It's a good card. I don't want to waste it on that. Hell. You know what? I'm actually just going to leave it alive. I'm going to do my special ability, which I'll get to in a second. It's called Life Tap. And I click on that, and Warlock is all about damaging himself. It's essentially what it does. It just does extreme damage to itself in order to play really powerful minions on the field. So this right here says draw a card and take 2 damage. So I literally do 2 damage to myself, but I just drew my own taunt, a much more powerful taunt, which I'm going to be playing probably next turn. And he's chosen to play a secret. And we'll get to that in a second, but let me think about what I'm going to do, because it's very difficult for me to talk and try and focus at the same time. But what I'm going to do is... Alright, you know what, I'm going to play my own taunt here, and I'm going to get rid of that. You see 1 health, 1 damage. I took 1 damage from that, now I'm down to 1. But it's not too bad, because even if this one gets destroyed, I have another taunt right here, which is a 1/4, so this needs to take 4 damage before it goes down. Now, the secret we were talking about earlier, this secret, when you put it up, this could be anything. It's a card that the opponent plays, but if you attack the opponent directly, for example, or if you do certain things to it, it'll trigger some kind of effect. So, for example, it could do damage to you directly, or something like that. So they're kind of risky, and you gotta kind of work your way around them. Now, she just did a board clear, which means we're back, to square one. So let me think about what I'm gonna play now. I generally like to go with a weaker taunt at first. I would play the 4, but why would I play it when I don't know what she's gonna play? Because she's playing a very defensive game right now. It's a very reactionary game. And there's an emote right there. She said well played, so I'm gonna say thank you. And I'm gonna damage myself here for 2 health and get another card for next turn. Now I have what's called card advantage, which is Warlock's just best friend, because you see here she has 3 cards. I got all of these, so I have so many options at my disposal. I also now have very slight board control, which means I have 1 minion down, she doesn't. Now it's a sheep, so that's not as great. What she does have over me, though, is health advantage. She's got 30 health, I got 22. So let's see how this plays out. Now, generally, a Warlock will get down to damage pretty quickly, just because of the fact that they damage themselves so much. So I have 6 mana here, so I need to choose what I'm going to play. I'm thinking of just playing another taunt, which keeps destroying. But if I do play 3, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play the 3. I'm going to use my coin here, because I got this for playing second. So this gives me an extra mana in any turn I want. I'm going to use it on this turn. I'm going to play my Ogre. Oh no, counterspell. Well, that's not too bad. I mean, it was wasted on the coin, so that effect was cancelled out. So I can't play that card anymore. But what I will do is damage myself again for another card. And this is actually really good. I really like this card. You play this, and essentially what it does, it says right here, deal 1 damage to all characters, which means even my hero will get hurt. But it's great for board clear, so if you've got a weak minion... Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, so that's another polymorph. She has what's called control. These are all control cards. She's not actually dealing that many minions out. What she's doing is waiting for me to put out minions, and then just zapping them, just like that. Now, this is a legendary card, actually. You can see that from the golds. They look very fancy, very nice animation. Its battle cry is to deal 4 damage to itself, but it's a great card to get out there early because it's going to do 4 damage, but it's not, because I also have my own control, which is this. Deal 4 mana to a minion, cost 3 mana, very efficient, just get rid of that straight away. Now, this is a 3 mana card, so it's kind of an overtrade, but we'll go with it. Now, this sheep is just hanging out here. It's kind of pointless, so what I'm going to do is put out yet another taunt, because this is getting ridiculous, and now I'm out of mana, so I attack with this minion. I think I forgot to do that before at some point. I had active minions which I could have attacked with, and I didn't, which is a big mistake I used to make at the beginning, but I'm now making it again because I'm trying to talk at the same time as playing. So essentially what we're trying to do is, you're trying to just figure out the cost of everything. I mean, every time you trade a minion for another minion, every time you attack something, you really have to think about, well, how much am I spending on this really? So this, for example, is a 4 mana minion. Hold on 1 second, let me see what I'm going to do here. There's quite a few options. I'm thinking of just playing the card I was going to play before. I could play 2 cards, actually. I have 8 mana. So I'm going to play this. Spell damage +1. So any spell I do, like this Hellfire, for example, now deals 4. You see that 4 is in little asterisks because it was 3 before, but this unit is getting it up to +1. I'm going to play this, which is a very nice unit, which summons another unit. A 2/1, which means it has 2 attack and 1 health unit alongside it. So now I have quite a bit of board advantage. I can attack with this unit directly right on the hero. As you can see, it's all very, drag and drop, click and drag, kind of very simple. So this game is actually coming out for the iPad and for all kinds of tablets soon. Blizzard's really trying to make a sort of revolution with this thing. It's going to be huge, and it's extremely accessible. I have friends who don't even like this kind of stuff, and they've just got really hooked to this game pretty quickly. Alright, he's putting out some firepower, but he has 0 cards left. So what I'm thinking of doing is just playing a Hellfire, which will... No, that's going to get rid of my units as well. It's a very stupid idea. I might just charge at him. A charge, by the way, it means I can play it straight away. If you notice, when I put a minion down, it goes to sleep, and I can play the next turn. No such luck with a charge. You put a charge down, it goes right in just immediately. Now, let me think about what I'm going to do, because I have quite a few options here. This will... I need to do 7 damage to this thing. So what I'm going to do is... I'm going to give this spell, which is Power Overwhelming. Let's see here. This kills off the minion at the end of the turn, but it gives it quite a bit of power while it's still alive. The only thing that would kill it if I gave it that was this, and I'm not sure I want to do that, but I mean, this is a little tutorial, so why not? Power Overwhelming, there we go, 4/4, but it's dead next turn, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm just gonna go straight. You know what? He has to go through the taunt. No, forget it. I committed to this. It was a bad move, but I committed to it. All right, 2/1. This will get rid of me, but I'll also get rid of it. You know what? I'm actually just gonna go for this since it won't kill me off. I'm gonna sacrifice my Dragoling Mechanic right here. Take care of that. I'm almost out of time. Turns out time round. I'm not sure how long it is, and I can put out some damage as well. I'm gonna put out. I have so many cards. I can afford to play this. and this actually gets, it's actually a negative battle cry. It gets rid of 2 cards in my hand. I'm going to life tap right there and end turn. See, some units in the Warlock's deck have negative battle cries. This is discard a card from your hand, which is, you know, a pretty serious disadvantage. But as you can see here, it costs 2 mana and is doing 4 damage and 3 attack, which is quite good. Now, she's in a really bad place right now. If you just looked at the board, I mean, you'd see she does have more health than me, but she's got absolutely nothing because she has no cards. She's doing what's called top decking, which is just she's taking the first card that comes out of her deck and she's trying to do something with it, and it's just not working. Now, this is a great minion for me. All other minions have +1/+1, so I put this down, and you see here, all these stats just went up through the roof, and I can really just decimate this guy. He won't even kill me if I just do this. He stays alive. That's fantastic. I play this, and her situation is getting progressively worse by the second. Why don't I just play another card just for fun? I'll play the Succubus. This is going to get rid of one of these cards. Gets rid of Hellfire. That's fine. I don't really need board clear. I think I'm pretty good here. Now, I'm getting very cocky, but this game can really turn on you just in an instant. Oh, look at that. I'm just eating those squares. So she got the card. It wasn't the card she wanted, and it's over for her. So, as you can see here, 3 out of 3 wins. When you get 3 wins, you get 10 gold. This actually was fixed in the patch, because before you would get very little gold. You get about 1 gold per win on average, which was absurd. But now you're getting a pretty good amount, 10 gold. Now let's see what's that worth. What does 10 gold really mean? I'll show you right now in the store. So if we go back here and we go to the collection of cards I have, or rather, sorry, the store. Here we go. 1 pack of cards, 100 gold. A pack of cards will get you 5 expert cards, which you can get by either crafting or just buying them with gold, and you'll get 1 rare or better, so it means you can get an epic card or a legendary card and really use it to flesh out your decks. Alternatively, this is, you know, it's a free-to-play game, so there is payment options. You can spend up to, here you go, 45 euros to get 40 packs if you really just want to get a pretty big head start on the game. Although the best cards, even in the most inexperienced players' hands, will not do anything really. So how do you use these cards? We go to the collection here, and you can create your custom decks on the side here, 1 for each hero. There are 9 total heroes. And so this is the Druid's deck, for example, but that's boring. Let me show you the Warlock's deck. Warlock Homes again. The Warlock, these are special cards just for the Warlock. Only the Warlock can equip these. And you can see here, there's a deck limit of 2. So even if I have 5 of these cards, I can only put 2 of them in my deck just to keep things fair. Because you don't want players putting, you know, 5 removes and 5 just crazy kinds of cards in their hands at once, because it would be kind of crazy. These are the neutral cards, which every class has access to. You unlock these just by playing, and as your total player level goes up, you start to unlock each individual card. You can see here all the, you know, each effect the card has. If you right click, it gives you a nice, you know, bit of flavor text and the artist of the card and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of attention to detail going on here, even just the turning of the pages. Everything is just great attention to detail overall. The last thing I'd like to show you, although not really show you because it's expensive, is the arena. Now once you go into the arena, it's actually very cool. You get to choose 1 of 3 heroes, which are chosen at random. So I'm not going to pick one because it's going to cost me some money, so I don't want to do it. But you pick one of the heroes, and then you get a card draw. So you get 3 cards on the screen, and you just basically build a deck of random cards. And then you go into the arena, and you have to survive as many matches as you can. If you manage to win 9 matches without losing any, then you get some really, really cool rewards. So it's a great thing to keep everyone on an even playing level, because the unlock cards mean nothing in that mode, because they're all completely randomized cards just chosen from a pool. And so it's really just your skill against the other player's skill. So it's really a lot of fun. That's about it, I think. This game is still in closed beta. It's very difficult to get a key or an invite to this game. You're going to have to wait a bit till it either goes to open beta or until Blizzard starts giving out more keys. Although it will be released before the end of this year, so that's you know, just going to have to wait a bit. It's a lot of fun. It's very addictive, very good mechanics. There's a lot of room for just some really cool combos, and it's very well balanced. You're gonna have a lot of fun with it. The card collecting is just absolutely addictive. You're gonna go through it, and you want that extra card. You can even craft new cards or get rid of cards you don't want and make dust. It's just a whole really great crafting mechanic. So that's it. Try applying to this game if you want to get the beta. Try, you know, going to the opt-in on the Blizzard website. There's some Facebook giveaways as well if you want to get in on this. And if you like what you've seen so far, let us know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. This has been ConArtist, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.